with the idea that they keep the door cracked. So she goes in and they peek in and she walks up to her baby brother in his little crib and she leans over and she says, "Baby brother, tell me about God. I'm starting to forget."
Oh.
Supposedly a true story. I didn't check scopes or whatever that thing is, scopes or whatever it is. Kids come into it with a more natural understanding of who they are. We adults smash it out of them. So I think that if you say to them, life goes on after the skin, we just can't see it. They'd probably go, cool. Does that help?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a good question for a lot of people. It's calling us to think about life differently in general.
Rhodey has a question.
Okay.
Is he in your living room? Could he be on your lap?
Let's see how long she stays here. Come here, baby. This is Bodhi if you haven't.
In the living room.
Not look, as soon as you put her down, she wants to go again. She just wants to move. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Give me help. As soon as she's here, she wants to leave. So that's it's all right. Okay, good. Oh, David, you said yes. And then we'll come over to you there. Don't ask me something too scientifically heavy, okay? Are we
Go
on?
ahead.
Is it on? Oh, thank you. Science of mind has been referred to as being part of New Age.
Okay, I'll correct that in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. One of the things in discussions that I've had before, and you know the number of discussions that I have with you and with a Christian minister friend of mine, is the idea of an established source, an established place from which our morality and our standards of moral behavior derive from. In Science of Mind, one of the criticisms that he has, and that I've heard others have, is that each individual is kind of making up their own morality. What is moral behavior? Whereas Christianity points you to, a definite source, the Bible or whatever. In Science of Mind, how is that being approached rather than the idea of everyone gets to make up their own code of morality and what is moral behavior?
Okay. Big questions. First of all, we're not part of New Age. We're part of New Thought. And there's a difference.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. Right. And New Thought is pretty much exactly what it says is what it means. Have a new thought. Okay, so then that just got coined as a whole organization. So for any of you who are new, we're not considered New Age because New Age is much broader and includes things that we wouldn't necessarily espouse. So New Thought is what we are. All right, we've had this question a lot, so I'm glad you keep bringing it up because it tells me that it's something you really want to get a handle on. We don't all make up our own morality. We deal with principle. We are working with principle constantly. So when I get, not anymore, a long time ago, get asked or think about this question, why, this is what I'd ask your friend, Christian friend back, why does everybody have to follow the exact same guideline or rules? I wonder why Christians feel that everybody needs to have the exact same plan. That to me is control. So I would ask that person back, why do you feel the need to have that so much control? Because what I also know is way back when this all started, that's exactly what happened. The whole Catholic Church had complete control over its people, and it was largely fear-based. We got to control you. We got to get you to do the moral thing. Well, who's to say that Christianity knows what the moral thing is? First of all, I always go behind, first of all, who's to say that they have the answers? Who's to say that we should all have the same answer? All right, your friend does, and many Christians, and I get that. We don't all make up our own rules. We have this thing called principle, and it goes back to what I said to Dennis. It's called cause and effect. So for me, I can only speak for me, my inner compass, my sense of morality and right or wrong is, first of all, there's the one bigger picture, which is called God. God would not make junk for us to have to fix. I don't have to fix myself because I'm not junk to begin with. I don't have to have somebody tell me, follow those rules because you're you're wrong, you're a sinner. See, that whole paradigm of which they're dealing with is, you're the worm of the earth, you're a sinner, so you got to get yourself fixed. And you got to get yourself fixed by being morally correct. Well, what this philosophy says, there's nothing wrong with you. You were born already this way. But what you do have is cause and effect constantly. The principle says, as you're thinking, as you're believing, as you're behaving, as you're going around the world, is coming right back to you. It comes back to the golden rule. Do unto others as I would have them do unto me is my moral compass. I don't always say it in those exact words, but the idea of going so far off morality that I would hurt somebody else means I've just gotten so out of alignment with the principle that God is all there is. And the God I believe in is a God of love and peace and joy. Getting out of alignment with that feels like crap. Getting out of alignment with that, I'm suffering already. Does that make sense? If I'm out of alignment with that peace and joy and love that I say, God, is if I'm way off track and I'm over here harming somebody, I don't fucking feel like caca. To tell somebody, you know what I really want to say, or being videotaped. To then to tell somebody on top of that, I've already gone off track, I'm already feeling so cockeyed, then have somebody say, well, you're going to go to hell if you don't change that. It's like, great. Might as well, you know, does anybody know what I'm saying? I make my words, thank you. I'm already feeling off base. And then to tell me that scold me for it, and tell me I got to get some kind of morals, doesn't help me. Let me get back to the principle. Let me align myself. Let me have somebody like Reverend Sean say, you know, who you really are is this child of God. Who you really are is somebody who already knows love and peace and joy and wants to do the, quote, right thing. That's my moral compass. I cannot imagine hurting another person, not on purpose, because you or me. We're the same. There's only one of us in all different forms. There's only one thing happening here, you or me. When we say you and I are one, if you take that literally, there's your moral compass. You and I are one. If I hurt you, I just hurt you. A lot of times people will say we're one with God or we're one, but there's still that sense of otherness. It's a tall order. If I look around the room and I say, you are me, and you are me, and you are me, I can go around this whole entire room and sometimes it'd be like, cool, and sometimes I'd be like, wouldn't we all, if we were honest, sometimes like, I'm not you, you know? But we are. There's really only one thing that's called the God source. Even that little dog that's growling out there. So if I hurt you, I hurt me. Why would I want to do that? It's a golden rule. That's my best answer for now. Could change if you ask me tomorrow. And if it was situational, it would probably even be more specific. Billy, did you have it?
Yes. Is it true that new thought isn't really new, and where did new come from?
It came, yes, it is true that new thought isn't really new. It comes from ancient wisdom. And there's some places that are talking about it as new thought, ancient wisdom. So the idea is really being taught in the Bible. That's what Jesus was teaching. And this whole time is what he was teaching, is this philosophy. The whole new came when people decided to organize it. They wanted to organize it into something new. But you're right, it's not new at all. We get all the concepts that we get from some sort of a story that come from Jesus. But we can also find them in Buddhism. You can also find them in some very practical spirituality. Reading the Science of Mind textbook, you see his references to all kinds of people. So yeah, it's not new. It's just because we wanted to make a new organization. To kind of separate ourselves from that. Yeah, Charles? Oh, wait, we never got to, wait, go ahead, and then we'll come back and get Mary. Sorry, Mary.
I'd like to ask about the global heart concept. When I first heard about that, that seemed like a really attractive thing, but the philosophy seems to mostly focus on the individual parishioners' realignment with the divine, and it doesn't, from my perspective anyway, seem to have anything much to say about our obligation to our fellow man and how we should be trying to help the poor and the sick, immigrants, and